Anthrid tier of the Bloody Point with the Moonsigil Atlas video. 7 tips for new players. First tip, scan the map and make a plan. So, as with many of these types of games, it's very important that you look at the route for your run at the map, examine what nodes you have to inform your decisions as you move forward, and decide which cards you pick, what you do with those cards. So in the case of Moonsigil Atlas, you'll have shield runes that you can add, you can remove tiles, you can add focus, you can swap shapes, all kinds of things you can do. You can add the prepared buff. It's very important that as you're deciding which of the paths you want to take, that you take these things into account. Super, super important. Next up, leverage astral gems. So astral gems are these items that you can get in a number of ways. You get them at the end of elite combat, and you can use them to increase the effectiveness of the buffs you apply. So in this particular case, I have this card that I plan to put runes on, additional shield runes, and I'm going to use an astral gem to allow me to add 2 runes instead of 1. And then later on, I know that I have another node which allows me to add a rune, and now I end up with this 4 tile card with 4 shield runes. And that is one way to leverage the ability granted by astral gems. Very nice card. Next up, bolster and focus. Bolster and focus are 2 modifiers, 2 upgrades that you can apply. Bolster will increase the effectiveness of shield tiles, and attack runes can be improved by the focus. So you see that particular card did a bit of both to all of my cards that had either shield tile, shield runes, or attack runes. You'll see the focus on this one is up to 12, which makes this an extremely strong card. That's the power of focus right there. And bolster on that one. Super good for making efficient use of space. Super crucial to be able to defeat some of the higher bosses. Look at this one, 16 damage times 6. Incredible card. All right, now a really important point is to take your time. In Moonsigil Atlas, there's no time limit, there's no clock counting down. So you want to take all the time you need to make good decisions. In order to use the space properly and not make mistakes, no blunders, just take your time. There's a function which we'll discuss in the next tip which helps you do that, and you will avoid making costly mistakes if you just slow things down. There's no rush. Take the time you need to make good decisions. Use your cards effectively and efficiently. You'll see here that I was able to use up all the space, which allowed me to trigger the glass attribute of that card, which made it go away and allowed me to put some more cards down. Very efficient. And a good way to guarantee that efficiency is to take advantage of one of the game's mechanics, and that's to use blueprints. So blueprinting allows you to right-click instead of left-click when you have a rune. You'll see it'll turn blue and be like a transparent color, and this helps you visualize the placement of your sigils to maximize using up the board. This is also very, very useful if you're using sigils with the glass attribute, or fragile, as you can see. So fragile means that if I fill the board, all of these tiles will go away, and that frees up the space and allows you to place yet more sigils. This is extremely good if you're putting down sigils with the shield tile, so you can get more block on the sides. And you'll see here that by filling up all the available space, I can be maximally efficient and clear the board. All right, next tip, size matters. So as you can see, filling up the board is not always easy. You have to have tiles or sigils of the right size, and you can also use the shape swap feature to change the size of one sigil to another. So you'll see there I had one very large sigil and one small one. I'm going to use this node on the map here to swap from one to the other. So suddenly a tile that had high value and correspondingly high size now has a small size, making it more likely that I can play it. So the See Beyond tile there is now one tile in size, which makes it much easier to use versus the larger tile. Having a quantity of small tiles in general is just a good idea. Okay, next tip, synergize. It is important to synergize when you're making decisions in terms of what cards you take. You can see here that I have Repurpose, which will cause any exhausted card that has runes to apply those runes to another card. If I do that on Malnok's Resolve, that means that I will be putting attack runes on a card that is granting focus to itself. And I can do that by playing Fracture. It goes on Malnok's Resolve, which inherits the 4 attack runes and then will be given focus by itself. Now, doing that will cause my other card to do more damage, and because it does so much damage, it's based on the number of runes that I have on all cards. Choosing Obsidian Gavel as my artifact is actually a good choice. Since it does a large amount of damage, the 30% will kick in. So that's 7 tips for new players. Thanks for watching, guys.